Welcome back to RavSync, the channel where we explore the wildest machines on four wheels, and today we're going to dive deep into one of the most unbelievable creations in the history of the automobile, the Koenigsegg Gemera. This isn't just another hypercar, it's something that almost feels like science fiction brought to life. It's a car that fuses insane power with comfort and practicality. It's a car that lets you bring three of your friends or your family on a ride that feels more like a roller coaster from the future than a drive down the road. The Gemera is the world's first four-seater mega GTA hypercar that doesn't just focus on raw numbers but also on the ability to share that experience with others, and that right there is what makes it special. Christian von Koenigsegg and his team in Sweden have spent decades proving that boundaries are meant to be broken, and with the Gemera they've created something so extreme yet so versatile that it forces us to rethink what a supercar or hypercar even means. The moment you see it in person or even on screen, it grabs you. It's lower and sleeker than any normal 4-seat car, but it still has a long graceful body that stretches over 16 feet. The stance is aggressive, the proportions are muscular and yet elegant. The front fascia looks like it's from a futuristic fighter jet with sharp LED headlights, sculpted air intakes and a low aerodynamic nose that seems ready to slice through the air. The roofline flows smoothly into the rear, making the car look more like a spacecraft than a traditional GT. And then you notice those doors, not just any doors but giant dihedral synchro helix doors that swing upward and outward in dramatic fashion, giving not just the driver but also the rear passengers easy access. Koenigsegg designed them intentionally so that getting into the back seats wouldn't feel like an afterthought, because unlike other hypercars where the rear seats are more symbolic than usable, the Gemera offers genuine space for four adults. It's the first time in history that you can actually share a 1700 horsepower ride with friends, and that's something no other brand has dared to do. Step inside and you immediately feel the fusion of luxury and cutting-edge technology. The interior is modern Scandinavian minimalism with futuristic touches everywhere, premium leather or Alcantara seats with perfect bolstering to keep you in place during brutal acceleration, a fully digital cockpit that gives you real-time performance data, a massive center infotainment screen, high-resolution displays for rear passengers, climate control for all four seats, and even cup holders that are both heated and cooled. Yes, a hypercar with cup holders, but that's the point. Koenigsegg wanted to make a machine that can handle a grocery run or a cross-country trip just as easily as it can embarrass a Bugatti on the drag strip. And speaking of embarrassing other hypercars, let's talk about the heart of the beast. At the core of the Gemera is something Koenigsegg calls the tiny friendly giant engine. It's a twin turbocharged 3-cylinder 2.0-liter that alone produces up to 600 horsepower. It sounds crazy that such a small engine could deliver so much power, but Koenigsegg is all about rewriting the rules. This engine is paired with not one, not two, but three electric motors, one for each rear wheel and one integrated with the crankshaft. Together the system produces a mind-bending 1700 horsepower and an earth-shattering 2,581 pound-feet of torque. Just think about that for a second. This is a car with four seats that delivers nearly twice the torque of a Bugatti Chiron, and it does all this while still being partially eco-friendly with the ability to run on renewable fuels or even in pure electric mode for around 30 miles. Imagine gliding silently through the city in a 1700 horsepower hypercar, then hitting the highway, switching modes and unleashing acceleration so violent it feels like being launched from a catapult. The Gemera rockets from 0 to 60 in just 1.9 seconds, yes, under 2 seconds for a family GT car, and it keeps pulling all the way to a top speed of over 248 miles per hour. These numbers aren't just impressive, they're borderline absurd, and yet Koenigsegg has managed to tame this monster with one of the most advanced chassis and drivetrain systems ever created. It has all-wheel drive, all-wheel torque vectoring and all-wheel steering, so despite its size it handles corners with precision and agility that feels more like a compact sports car than a 16-foot four-seater on the track. It's devastating on the road. It's surprisingly comfortable. That dual personality is what sets it apart. On one hand, it's a full-blown hypercar that can take down anything on the autobahn. On the other, it's practical enough to drive daily if you're lucky enough to own one. And let's not forget the design details. Koenigsegg left nothing untouched, from the lightweight carbon fiber construction to the acoustically tuned exhaust that can sound either quiet and refined or scream like thunder when you push it. The Gemera is a work of art. Every line, curve and bend serves a purpose. You can see the obsession with detail everywhere, and while most hypercars compromise interior space or ride comfort for speed, the Gemera refuses to compromise. Instead, it redefines what's possible. Now you might be asking, what does a car like this cost in the United States? The Koenigsegg Gemera is priced at around $1.7 million, which instantly puts it in the league of ultra-exclusive machines. But unlike most cars at that price point, the Gemera stands alone. It has no true rival because nothing else combines four seats, hybrid tech, insane horsepower and Koenigsegg levels of craftsmanship all in one package. Sure, you could cross-shop it against a Bugatti Chiron, a Rimac Nevera, or maybe even a Ferrari SF 190, but none of those can carry 4 adults comfortably at over 200 miles per hour. That's why the Gemera is often called a category of its own. It's not just a hypercar, it's not just a Grand Tourer, it's something entirely new. A Mega GT and Koenigsegg